Using leather as a crafting medium opens the door to a world of possibilities to make some very unique and intricate creations, and with more tools available than ever before, it's a great time to be a leatherworker. But if you're just getting started, it can become overwhelming and very expensive if you waste money on tools that will not serve you in the beginning. So in this video, I'm going to be answering what do you really need to dive into leather crafting and build your first leather projects. And a little later in the video, we'll be giving away this starter pack of tools provided by Weaver Leather Supply. And we'll add in this warrior helmet kit and a complete digital armor pattern bundle from our most beginner-friendly armor in the Prince Armory Academy. Most of the projects I've worked on over the last 20 years have been related to leather armor crafting in some way, so the tools I'm going to share with you are from my own biased point of view, which may vary from other leather crafters, and I may also favor cosmetic decorations that others may not care about at all. But by the end of the video, you'll be equipped with the knowledge to get started on just about any leather crafting project, from simple accessories to wearable armor. So if you're ready to dive into the exciting world of leather crafting, let's get started. The first thing on our list is a 12x12 marble tooling slab. I'm just going to take a peek in here. I think this is the same as what I've got, so I'll just use one of mine for this presentation, and we'll keep this one wrapped up for the winner of the giveaway. This is a great foundation to build upon because you'll always need a firm surface for things like setting rivets, and of course when tooling leather. The next item I suggest is a cutting surface. This is called a silent poundo board, and it's basically a piece of dense rubber. A plastic cutting board is a good alternate pick here, but I suggest starting here first because this also serves as a great dampening pad to sit under your slab and will even help protect your work surfaces. And of course this will also come in handy when cutting leather and for punching holes in leather. This next pick may surprise you, but there's not a whole lot of leatherworking we can do without leather. There are 2 panels included in this giveaway, and I'll grab a similar piece of scrap leather to demonstrate, and we'll keep these wrapped up for the winner of the giveaway. And while this may be an overly obvious pick, this is in fact where a lot of people get tripped up because there are indeed countless leather options out there. So let's make this very simple, and I'll recommend Weaver Select 9 to 10 ounce vegetable tan leather as a solid all-around value. One of the benefits to leather as a crafting medium is its workability, which is mostly unlocked in its damp state. The easiest way to think about this is that adding water relaxes the surface, giving you time to shape and decorate the leather. Then when it dries, it'll firm back up and lock in the details that you added. I'll use one of our misting bottles to wet the leather in this case, but obviously you can use any source of water. You can use a wet sponge, for example. You're also going to need some way to cut the leather into parts. I suggest a snap-off style knife like this, and I think Olfa makes some of the best blades hands down in my experience. They're very sharp, and they stay sharp longer. A utility knife similar to this is how I got started myself, and these are very affordable, and even with all of the fancy tools we have these days, pretty much every hide that we touch and project we build is cut down into rough parts with this style of knife. So this will stay with you for the long run, and it will get you by until you decide to add shears or other tools to your leather cutting arsenal. Next on the list is a swivel knife. This is one of the ways you get decorative lines into leather, which I realize may not be a priority for some, but for us we like to encourage our students to get creative and go for more elaborate builds. To use the swivel knife, you adjust the yoke to the height you want, positioning your pointer finger into the saddle and twisting the barrel to control the lines. Start with shallow cuts and straight lines to experiment how deep you want to go. Not that you would want to, you can in fact cut all of the way through with a swivel knife, so just start building some muscle memory and control early on and start practicing now, and then you'll be ready to dive into the intermediate projects. In our Fantasy Armor series, you'll be given a lot of opportunity to practice carving some easy decorative lines throughout the whole suit of armor, and then our Elven series is where you start getting into the more intricate decorations. The swivel knife may cause some controversy as a beginner pick because some leather crafters go their whole life without ever picking up a swivel knife, but I really value the flexibility and artistry you can get by carving lines into your projects. And if that's something you also value, then getting practice as early and often as possible with a swivel knife will benefit you greatly in the long run. And it doesn't have to be hard to start out. You can see how easy it is to block in some lines and shapes into this scrap piece of leather. Next, I'll introduce you to your first leather stamps, and the mallet. My pick for your first striking tool is going to be this 14-ounce poly head mallet. Regarding this yellow mallet head, I don't know why we need to necessarily see it from space. I'd have suggested black or white for the head, but aside from that, this well-made mallet will be with you for many years to come. There's a good chance you will graduate to other types of striking tools, such as mulls when it comes to tooling, but I selected this as your first pick because it's going to be the most intuitive to use and great for other tasks like punching holes and setting rivets, and other smash-based operations. Out of the thousands of possible stamping tools out there, I suggest starting with the common smooth beveler. I've bought many leather stamps, and some tools get more use than others. Bevelers, however, are one of the ones that get used start to finish in many of our projects. And although simple, they enable you to unlock a world of possibilities when it comes to decorative details. There are 3 sizes of bevelers included here to get you started, and you will use these to bevel the lines that you just carved with your swivel knife, and this will add a sense of depth and emphasis on the design lines. You'll always want to use the widest beveler available for the straight lines, and for the finer details we'll explore that more later, but you'd use the smaller ones for tight curves. The goal is to make a nice clean bevel. But when you first start tooling, it may look something like this, with some clear ridges between your strikes. The trick is to practice and take your time. Just tap lightly and as evenly as you can. And if you do have some ridges, you can double back and smooth those out as you go. Leather can be forgiving. This is part of the elven breastplate that Ashley has been working on and tooling lately, and the tutorial for this is on the way. It may look intimidating at first, but if you take one thing away, just understand that all of these decorations are built with layers of very simple techniques. The difference between this smaller section and this big chest piece is just more time and work. And once you get the basics down and put in the miles to get the smooth lines, you can start combining them and challenge yourself to improve over time. But we don't have to get ahead of ourselves. The Elven series projects are considered advanced, and these will be presented later. That's why the beginner-friendly warrior series is the perfect fit for this giveaway. To make holes into the leather, the most affordable tool that I suggest picking up is a hole punch set like this with interchangeable heads. The different tips allow you to punch through different size holes, though you'll most commonly use the smaller sizes. Now let's say you have some pieces of leather tooled, and now you're ready to start assembling things. That's where rivets come in, and these double cap style rivets are nice looking and easy to use. We're including 3 of our most common rivet sizes to get you going in this pack: small, medium, and large. Medium and large rivets share a cap size. What about sewing? Well, when it comes to the large projects that we make, rivets are much more economical and convenient in most cases. The builds we usually make have a lot of shape to them, and there are many layers and curves. So compared to sewing a wallet or a bag, or other items where you have the luxury of sewing in a straight, flat, easy line, by comparison, sewing will take a lot more setup, skill, and effort. So for this reason, I'm saving the sewing recommendations for the advanced category that we'll be exploring later. Then when you're ready, a rivet setter will help focus the force of the hammer swing onto the rivet cap, and the force will mushroom the post into the cap, making a very strong join. A setter also helps keep the domed appearance of the rivets. There are many other types of rivets available, but if we're just keeping things simple, this is probably the way to go. And this is one of the more common rivets that we use in our own projects. The next item you need is some dye. I picked out red and black Phoebing's Pro oil dye, and these will definitely get you started, but leather drinks up a lot of dyes, so this will only last you 1 or 2 small projects. You can also stain and paint your projects, but we'll cover that more in upcoming guides. The finish I suggest starting with is an acrylic finish like Weaver's Tough Coat. This will seal the leather and provide a slight protection. It will also apply a gloss, and using it in larger quantities can help firm up the leather. And this is a last-minute addition just because I have some extras of these sanding sponges. This sample pack comes with all the common grits that you would use most frequently. These are long-lasting and come in convenient pre-cut sections, and the brand is called Grit Grip. I'm including these because as you start your leather crafting journey, there's going to be times where you want to sand down the edges of leather or to sharpen your tools, and we'll cover those things in more detail soon. As promised, it's time to tell you about the giveaway. We're collaborating with Weaver Leather Supply to give away a leather armor crafting starter bundle of tools and patterns. This collection is what I'm calling the Beginner Plus package. This is going to be my personal recommendations of the first tools that you should buy if you're just starting out, or if you're just starting to get interested in the craft and ready to start investing in tools that can stick with you as you grow your skills in your career for years to come. In future videos, we'll go over additional tool recommendations that I'll break down into intermediate, advanced, professional, and master categories, so that you have a clear path of progression from start to finish. Obviously, it's your money, buy or don't buy in whatever order you see fit. The way I'm approaching this list is if I were to go back in time and to tell myself which tools to buy, and in which order to set myself up for the fastest path to success, and to cut out the years of experimentation of trial and error, this is that list. Not to say that that wasn't valuable experience, but it would have been nice to have a shortcut. This giveaway will include all of the tools and leather supplies you see here, but we're not done yet. Included in this giveaway is the Warrior Helmet Kit to give you a great head start into your leather crafting journey. Included is all of the leather pieces you need to build the Warrior Helmet. The complete video tutorial can be watched anytime for free, and we're gearing up to launch a whole lot of new armor kits soon. This Warrior Helmet Kit is just the first of many. And for the last item in this giveaway, we'll be giving away the entire Warrior Armor Digital Pattern Bundle. This is the most beginner-friendly armor series to date. The goal with this series is to get you familiar with many of the basics such as cutting leather, punching holes, setting rivets, and hedging your pieces. And then of course dye and finish. You'll also get your first experience of wet molding leather. From there you can graduate to the Fantasy Armor Bundle, where you'll start learning more about how to decorate and enhance your projects. If you watch this video by the time the giveaway is over, don't worry, we do giveaways all the time, and our next giveaway will be around the Fantasy Bundle, so get subscribed now and don't miss out. If you'd like to enter, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave a comment Warrior Giveaway.